Hello, thank you for listening. This is the near-death experience of Daphne, and Daphne's experience occurred on May 19th of 2016 and was documented on June 21st of 2018. And Daphne is from Canada, but this was submitted in the English language and not translated. Open quote. I was admitted to the hospital with bilateral pneumonia and acute kidney failure. I was in an isolated room that was not monitored in the emergency department. I was waiting for a bed on the floor. The call bell did not work. I was on 100% oxygen with a respiratory rate of 28 to 35 and HR of 125 to 145 BPM. I had been to a variety of tests during the day, and when I returned, I was not monitored for the night. I started to have hypoxic hallucinations when I was sleeping, and I would wake up and watch bunnies chasing chipmunks all over the room. I tried calling the nurse to get help, but again, the call bell wouldn't work. I would drift off back to sleep and leave my body. I would be standing beside the stretcher. I knew that I was very close to death when I came back into my body, and I attempted to get the nurse again, but couldn't. I saw the white tunnel and went through it very quickly. I exited into white light and saw a variety of beings off to the left-hand side. I told them I was not going to stop, that I was going further on. I turned to my right and found myself in utter blackness. I was very calm and remarked to myself, I guess I'm dead. I thought that I should tell someone that I was dead and headed to the nurse's station to ask them to look in room 16. I saw everyone who was on duty and told them. Then I realized that that was silly because I wasn't in a body. I was a light orb. Upon realizing this, I returned to the void. I then thought about who I should tell, and I thought of my mother, who was wintering in Harlingen, Texas. As soon as I thought this, I saw a window appear before me with a man and a woman sleeping on a bed. I entered the window and stared down at them. There was no emotion, and I didn't feel any attachment to them. I said to the woman, "Well, I just thought that I should tell you that I have died and I will be going on." Then I went back through the window into the void. Back in the void, I wondered what to do next. I wanted to make sure that this really was the void. I went to the left and then to the right. Then I went up further, but everywhere I went, I was just there. There was no way to reference where I was. I could only see darkness in 360 degrees. As I looked into the darkness, I had a feeling that I was glowing, but I couldn't be sure. As I looked into the blackness, I would catch glimpses of a blue grid, but the blue was so dark that it seemed to blend in with the blackness. I thought of all the places I could go and all the things I could do. As I thought, they appeared before me in little windows or television screens that were almost holographic. The images moved and had life to them. I started to think of everything I knew about the void and that it was all things potentially, but nothing materially. As I thought that, the view exploded around me with little windows in 360 degrees into infinity. I was overwhelmed, so I thought that I would not make a decision right then, but wait here until I could make a choice. I then started to wonder who I was. Was I secondary consciousness, self, or my primary consciousness, my higher self? As I asked a question, I heard a voice to my right side. This was roughly where my right ear would be if I had a body. It said, "Who do you want to be?" I stepped forward and said immediately, "I will always be a student of Ramtha, the Enlightened One." As I said that, I noticed that the windows decreased in number from all around me. I wondered if anyone had found my body and if I was ready to move on to another place. I looked back down to my body. As I did so, I saw my friends and family having to deal with my house and property and the stress of doing this on them. I knew that I had responsibilities to go back and deal with things that were unfinished. I didn't want to go back, but I took a big sigh and said, "Okay, I will go back." I woke up in my body. I was in rough shape and my condition had worsened considerably, but this time the call bell worked, and I was able to get the nurse to come. I ended up being transferred to the intensive care unit. I stayed there for 10 days on a breathing machine. Close quote. Wow, Daphne. It's amazing. Your description of the void. I don't think I've ever heard such a detailed and lengthy description of that. And then when you said, "I will always be a student of Ramtha, Ramtha, the enlightened one," and as I said that, I noticed the windows decreased in number from all around me. I wonder what was going to happen next. Pretty amazing. There are some questions here. Question, did you feel separated from your body? Answer, yes. I watched the nurses in the nursing station go about their business and saw the patients in the hall, even though I had no knowledge beforehand who was working, and I saw trauma come in. I clearly left my body. Describing your highest level of consciousness, mentally my thought was clearer, and I was very logical and analytical. I felt no emotion, only a sense of curiosity. Here we see the curiosity again, and wasn't it, you can hear the lack of emotion when she went to see her mom and dad, or maybe it was just her mom, and looking in on them, and just thought I'd tell you. I said to the woman, "Well, I just thought that I would tell you that I have died and I will be going on." Pretty interesting. Question, did time seem to speed up or slow down? Answer, I felt like I was in the void for about 15 minutes because I had so much happen while I was there. I don't know how long I was gone, but it could have been minutes up to 3 hours here. Question, comparing your vision. Answer, the colors and definition of the images were remarkable. I wear glasses in this reality, but there, the most minute details were distinct. I could clearly see in my mother's dark bedroom without any problem. Comparing your hearing. Answer, due to being in the void, there was very little sound, but the voice that spoke above my right ear was quite matter-of-fact and normal tone. Question, did you pass into or through a tunnel? Answer, yes. I passed out of my body into a tunnel of light that was the size of a doorway. There were levels to it like rings or circles, and I knew that I could stop at a level and it would open up to something else. But I was focused on going to the void, so I didn't stop, just rushed through. I don't think that I have read another experience where the person was focused on going to the void. I wonder why Daphne wants to go to the void so bad. Very interesting. Question, what emotions did you feel during the experience? Answer, I was very unemotional and detached. I regretted having to come back. Question, did you suddenly seem to understand everything? Answer, I would ask for information, and it would appear before me, or the knowledge would come to me instantly. I seemed to remember information in perfect detail as soon as I asked a question. Question, did you come to a border, a point of no return? Answer, I was shown the future if I didn't go back. Based on that information, I chose to return with the condition that I had no neurological damage from my death. There is more information here. Question, what was your religion prior to your experience? Answer, other several faiths, very spiritual, but not affiliated with any organized religion. Question, have your religious practices changed since your experience? Answer, yes, I am more dedicated to my spiritual practice than I was before. Question, what is your religion now? It's the same. Other faiths, several faiths, very spiritual, but not affiliated. Question, did your experience include features consistent with your earthly beliefs? Answer, entirely consistent. I had some previous knowledge of the void through the Ramthra School of Enlightenment, but I did not take that knowledge for granted. I tested out to make sure that I was in a true experience and not fooling myself. I acted like a scientist and tested what I knew. Question, did you seem to encounter a mystical being or presence or hear an unidentifiable voice? Answer, I saw a couple of beings in the light and spoke to them and told them I was continuing on. While in the void, I heard a voice ask me who I wanted to be. Yes, continuing on through the light. Very interesting. Question, during your experience, did you gain information about universal connection or oneness? Answer, yes. Everything came out of the void, and we are all connected through the void. There is no separation. Question, during your experience, did you gain information about the existence of God? Answer, yes. I figured that the voice in my head that asked me who I wanted to be was my God. Question, during your experience, did you gain information about an afterlife? Answer, an afterlife definitely exists. There is life after death, and I got to choose what I want to do. The choice is unlimited, although one of the choices I thought of, I wasn't ready yet to experience, so that option was discouraged. Question, did you gain information about how to live our lives? Answer, yes. Everything is a choice. There is no good/bad, right/wrong. It is just experience and choice. The greatest gift we have is our ability to make choice. Question, during your experience, did you gain information about love? Answer, yes. There is no judgment. There is only love. Whatever choice I made, I was loved and connected. Question, what life changes occurred in your life after your experience? Answer, large changes in my life. I am very focused now on service to others. I feel it is my responsibility to share the wisdom I have learned. Question, have your relationships changed specifically because of your experience? Answer, yes, I have lost people out of my life, including my best friend. Question, was the experience difficult to express in words? Answer, yes. I went over the experience many times in my head. It was such an intense experience that it was very personal to me, and I didn't tell my doctors or family and friends until later. Question, how accurately do you remember the experience in comparison to other life events which happened around the same time? Answer, I remember it more accurately. I experienced some of my remembrances have softened over time. But when I recall being in the void, it is as real as it was 2 years ago. Question, do you have any psychic, non-ordinary, or other special gifts after your experience that you did not have before the experience? Answer, yes. My healing work has increased tremendously. I am highly telepathic, and I can now see with my eyes closed and blinders on. Question, are there one or several parts of your experience that are especially meaningful or significant to you? Answer, I recall how expanded my mind was when all the possibilities extended around me into infinity in all directions. I also am very partial to the feeling that I was glowing. Yeah, I bet. That was probably pretty cool. Question, have you ever shared this experience with others? Answer, yes. I shared my experience partially with my mother 4 days after, and others since. They found my experiences fascinating and asked questions that caused me to analyze the experience differently. They helped me clarify things that I hadn't consciously thought about. Question, did you have any knowledge of NDEs prior to your experience? Answer, yes, it has been an interest since I read Raymond Moody's work as a teenager. Question, what do you believe about the reality of your experience? Answer, experience was definitely real. I tested the validity of the experience while I was in it, and it was confirmed by my mother, who said that I had appeared to her in a dream and told her I had died. Wow. Question, at any time in your life, has anything ever reproduced any part of the experience? Answer, uncertain. Through the Ramthura School of Enlightenment, I have had experiences of the void before, but not with this kind of clarity and vividness. Question, is there anything else you would like to add about your experience? Answer, I did wonder if I should heal myself while I was in the void. I couldn't explain it to the doctors, so I didn't choose to. Also, I had choices to be anything I wanted to be and manifest anything into this reality, but I didn't, because in the void, there is no lack. End quote. End questions, end story, end experience. Daphne, incredible. You know, you've taken it somewhere that I had not heard before. So very interesting how personal these experiences are. We appreciate that. Thank you, Daphne. I enjoyed reading that, and I hope you guys enjoyed listening. Have a nice day.